Soccer legend Diego Maradona passed away, as I'm sure you've all heard, and of course the tributes are coming in all across the world. A soccer player who was a legend of his time, and certainly a very colourful character, lots of controversy in his behaviour at times, but certainly entertained the soccer world and really inspired so many young soccer players to give it their all, to give it their best. Now, probably one of his most famous incidents, as I'm sure you all know, is the Hand of God incident, where he used a bit of his hand and a bit of his head to score a goal. Now, I was thinking about this concept of the hand of God and sort of taking it away from Maradona for a moment and bringing it into our parsha this week. You know, the hand of God really asks the person to look at their lives and say, you know, do I see the influence of Hashem? Do I see Hashem's influence, God's hand in my life? And unfortunately, at times we get so caught up with our own troubles, our own tribulations, perhaps at times our own ego, our own arrogance. We get so caught up with our business, with our own busyness, that we start to forget and start to ignore perhaps the hand of Hashem, God's influence in our lives. And the danger of that is when you don't have the support, when you don't see that there's a greater being, a greater power out there that's there with you all the time. And yes, I'm not saying that there are times where we don't feel God has neglected us, God has abandoned us. Certainly as Jewish people in our history have felt that. And I'm sure in our own personal lives, you know, when you've gone through a significant loss, or you may have lost your job, been bereaved, it does at times feel like God's hand is not there. But as Jews, we have the strong belief, the strong foundation, that whilst at times we might not feel, from our perspective it feels like God's hand is not there, Hashem is certainly holding our hands through every step of life. And we see it in this week's parsha. Rachel and Leah, the two of the matriarchs, very righteous and very intelligent and very switched on woman, tell us in this week's parsha, when Jacob and Yaakov says to them, it's time to leave my father-in-law Lavan, who gave him a really hard time, the two of them say to Yaakov, they say, you know, everything that Hashem has given us, you know, Yaakov amassed big wealth over there. And, you know, you could have thought that he might have said, you know, I put in a lot of work, I put in a lot of effort, it's all me, me, me. But his wives told him, they said, you know what? Everything that you got was from Hashem. Very, very profound. And it takes a lot of humility to recognize and to appreciate that all that we have is a blessing from above. We have to recognize it, we have to be thankful to Hashem and say, thank you for giving me what you've given me. And at times, as I said, it's not easy to feel this way, especially when we're going through a hard time. So yes, Diego Maradona has gone to the next world and he used his hand of God to score a goal. Let us use our connection with Hashem. Let us see Hashem's influence. Let it inspire us and of course encourage us to do good, to be thankful and to be kinder to our families, to our communities and to the entire world around us. Have a wonderful Shabbat and please God a beautiful weekend ahead.